I'm going to show you 4 exercises in this video that will help you beat your back pain. If you've been wondering how to beat your back pain at home, this is going to be a huge help. First, I want to cover 2 things that you should absolutely not do to try to beat your back pain. And that first one is spend a ton of money on gadgets and devices. You don't want to waste your money on crutches and braces and things that try to make up for weakness in your body, because ultimately you get weaker. So that's why we're going to do some exercises. Second, you want to be more active in your workday, whatever that means. I strongly recommend you have an active workstation. One on the floor, like I talk about in a video that I'll link to down below, will be really helpful for keeping your hips healthier, your back and your shoulders healthier. So be sure to check out that video after you've watched this one. Now let's get into the exercises. I'm going to assume that you've been sitting a ton and you need to get up and feel like you're a little less locked up. So we're going to start standing and we're going to do a hip flexor / quad stretch. So what you're going to do is take a long step like this. It doesn't have to be crazy long, but just long-ish. Then you're going to have the back leg straight. You're going to then start bending the knee, thinking about sinking straight down while keeping the pelvis tucked under like this. So you're trying to stretch out the quads and the hip flexors here as you're going down. To do that, your pelvis must stay tucked. If your pelvis goes into this position, into anterior tilt, then you're not going to get the stretch. So tuck it and then start thinking about going down, 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 only as far as you can go without feeling yourself cheat. If you feel like you cheat out of it like that, then don't go that low, right? You can just go to here, wait for it, feel that stretch and enjoy. If you feel like you are off balance, use a stick, okay? Or a garden hoe, and then tuck, go down, 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 and back up, okay? I like to have my hand on my abs too to make sure my abs are engaged. That helps keep the pelvis in the right position. You're gonna do this on both sides. We're gonna go 5 to 10 times on each side, okay? Making sure that you keep the pelvis in that tucked position, abs engaged, and you'll also feel your glutes engaged. So this is gonna be both a stretch and a little bit of work for the muscles of the front of the hip and the thigh. The next exercise is going to be a forward fold to help you get at your hamstrings. I'm going to have you do this using bent knees first, and you can also do this with straight knees afterwards. So first, bend your knees, grab your garden hoe if you want to, or not, and you're just going to be hinging from the hips. So the idea here is that we're keeping the knees bent, and we're training the glutes to be able to allow hip flexion. So we're letting the torso and the thigh come closer together, and we're taking the hamstrings a little out of it and making sure the glutes are able to control that motion, okay? So if we did this with perfectly straight knees, we'd be feeling a lot of the hamstrings controlling this, stretching here. What we want right now is for the glutes to be doing it. So you're going to feel a lot of glute stuff as you are going into this. Your feet, you want to keep your weight balanced. So I don't want you all the way on your heels for sure. And over time, I find it personally very fun to actually let my weight go forward onto the balls of my feet and into the toes, because that starts looking like getting ready to run, right? That's loading forward and getting ready to push off. But right now, just start off with feet flat, weight balanced front to back, and then feel the glutes loosening up and getting stronger. So the goal here is to get to at least about parallel with the floor, and if you can go farther than that, even better. But you're definitely going to feel the glutes stretching out and struggling with this. When we're sitting all day, the glutes often get just paralyzed into one length and they get really weak. So this is helpful for training them to go in and out of different ranges of motion, keeping those muscles pumped up and strong. We're going to do that for a set of 10. So when you're doing this, just take your time, make sure your spine stays in neutral. And once you're ready, you can just go ahead and start playing with the straight kneed version. So this is just focusing on hamstrings, really making sure you keep your weight balanced in the feet, not letting yourself lose control. Again, if you need help, you can use a wall, you can use a chair, you can use a garden hoe, and just work on maintaining control of your upper body as you fold forward. This is all about motion from this axis of rotation. It's all coming from the hip joint rather than from your spine, right? You don't want to be bending like this. You want to be bending from here as if somebody has skewered you with a garden hoe. Now that we've loosened up the front of the hips and the back of the hips, then we're going to work on strengthening your abdominals, since they've probably been totally off while you've been sitting all day at work. So that's not going to help you with your back pain. We need to make sure your abs are a bit stronger. You can do this on your hands or you can do this on your elbows. Either one is fine. And if you want even more detailed information about this exercise, I will also leave a link in the description box to a couple videos that we've done on the plank. But basically, we're going to be here. Your toes are going to be curled under. You're going to lift up, make a straight line from ankles to shoulders, and even your ears if you can. You're going to be pushing away from the floor, and you can think about actively engaging your abs by pulling your hands down this way and your feet up this way. So nothing's actually moving, but I'm thinking about pressing away from the ground and pulling the feet and hands towards each other to make sure my abs are engaged. If you're doing this on your elbows, same thing, elbows are pulling towards my feet. And if this feels like, oh man, it's just too hard, you can do this on your knees too. So you could just go like this and think about pulling the knees and the elbows towards each other. This is something that I've had my own mother do. When she first started, she was unable to get up like this, but we had to make her abs work, so we just did it like this, and it worked out really well. So you're gonna hold that for 15 to 60 seconds. Start on the low end. If you can only do 15 seconds, that's fine. Do it twice. Do it for a total of 30 seconds, and then gradually work up to doing it for 45 seconds and then 60 seconds. It's just about gradually accumulating more time and strength for your abdominals. Once your abs are engaged, we're going to look at a commonly tight area that will definitely affect your low back, and that is your lats. So your lats are these muscles that go from the low back all the way up to the front of the arm bone here. So it crosses kind of under your shoulder through your armpit up to the arm. So we're going to stretch that out just on the floor here. Take your hand, put it next to your head, elbow on the floor. Keep your abs engaged, so I don't want you to be sticking your butt up with a big arch in your low back. Keep your abs engaged, and then you're going to think about creating a straight line between your upper arm, so this area, and your torso, right? So your rib cage and your arm, you're trying to get them in line with each other without letting the arm drop over like this. So your head is acting like a block because you are a blockhead. I didn't say that out loud. And basically you're gonna feel a stretch through the side of the armpit. You're gonna feel it down the rib cage. You might feel it into the triceps on the bottom side of your upper arm. These are all fine. You just don't want to feel this as a sharp pinching. If you feel it as a sharp pinching, back out a little bit until you feel it as a distinct stretching sensation in specific areas. You don't want it to be a jamming pinching sensation. That means you're going too hard too fast. The reason this is so important as a stretch is because the muscle attaches into your low back and along your ribs, so that can start throwing you off in really funky ways. It can get you into anterior tilt, it can get you into side bends. So we want to make sure that the lats are something you address when you deal with your back pain. So you're going to do both sides, of course, and do each side for a minute at least, really focusing on wherever you feel like things are super duper stiff and tight. I haven't been doing this recently and I can feel it because I've been doing a bunch of pull-ups and rowing motions, and I can feel my lats and also my triceps from the push-ups are also pretty sore. So it's a good thing to be doing to make sure your shoulder muscles are not causing you back pain. I would strongly recommend doing this whole routine for 2 rounds. Start off with 3 days a week, and if you feel like that's totally fine, then do it for 4, 5, 6 days a week and see how your body responds. A lot of us have trouble with tight hips and tight shoulder muscles, all playing into our back pain, and a lot of us have really weak abs from just sitting and lazing on the couch all day. So this routine will help address a lot of common issues, and over time you're going to see results as long as you stay consistent. Now you've got some simple exercises you can do on a regular basis to improve your back pain, improve your overall body's strength, mobility, and control. If you want a more comprehensive program that'll help you walk through your individual issues, be sure to check out the link to the back pain fix, which I'll put up here and down below and hopefully on screen somewhere too. It's going to help you find your weakest links so you can build strength and mobility and fix your back pain. I hope this video helped you out. Be sure to click the like button, share it with someone else who's got back pain, subscribe to the channel, and remember that pain sucks. Life shouldn't.